Good day everyone! For today's video, we will be talking about telephone conversation by Wole Soyinka. But first, let's know who is Wole Soyinka. Wole Soyinka is a Nigerian playwright, poet, essayist, and political activist who was born on July 30, 1934 in Abakita, Nigeria. He is one of the Africa's most distinguished and celebrated literary figures and is the first African to receive the Nobel Prize in Literature. Soyinka grew up in the multicultural environment with both his parents belonging to different ethnic groups. He attended various schools in Nigeria and England and studied literature, drama, and philosophy. In the 1950s, he became involved in the anti-colonial struggle for Nigerian independence and was imprisoned several times for his political activism. Soyinka's literary career began in the early 1960s with his first play, A Dance of the Forest, being produced in 1960. He went on to write numerous plays, poems, and essays and is considered one of the most important African writers of the 20th century. His works often explore themes of colonialism, oppression, and the search for cultural identity. Telephone Conversation by Wole Soyinka. The price seemed reasonable. Location indifferent. The landlady swore she lived off premises. Nothing remained but self-confession. Madame, I warned. I hate a wasted journey. I am African. Silence. Silenced transmission of pressurized good breeding. Voice when it came. Lipstick coated, long, gold rolled cigarette holder piped. Caught, I was foully. How dark. I had not misheard. Are you light or very dark? Bottom B, bottom A. Stench of rancid breath of public hide and speak. Red boot. Red pillar box. Red double-tired omnibus scorching tar. It was real. Shamed by ill-mannered silence, surrender. Pushed dumbfounded to beg simplification. Considerate she was, varying the emphasis.
Are you dark or very light? Revelation came. You mean like plain or milk chocolate? Her accent was clinical, crushing in its light's impersonality. Rapidly wavelength adjusted. I chose West African sepia. And as afterthought, down in my passport. Silence for spectroscopic flight of fancy, till truthfulness clenched her accent, hard on the mouthpiece. What's that? Conceding. Don't know what that is. Like brunette. That's dark, isn't it? Not altogether. Facially, I am brunette, but madam, you should see the rest of me. Palm of my hand, soles of my feet are a peroxide blend. Friction caused foolishly. Madam, by sitting down, has turned my bottom raven black. One moment, madam. Sensing her receiver rearing on the thunderclap about my ears. Madam, I pleaded, wouldn't you rather see yourself? And now let's talk about what is really the meaning of the telephone conversation written by Wole Soyinka. Telephone Conversation is a poem by Nigerian playwright and poet Wole Soyinka. The poem is a satirical exploration of racism and prejudice based on the experience of an African man trying to rent a room in London. The poem begins with the speaker making a phone call to inquire about a room for rent. The landlady, however, immediately starts questioning him about his race, and the tone of the conversation quickly becomes uncomfortable. The landlady is taken aback when the speaker tells her that he is African, and she asks him if he is dark or light. When he answers that he is very dark, she hesitates before finally saying that the room has already been rented out. The poem then moves on to the speaker's thoughts as he hangs up the phone. He reflects on the landlady's racist attitudes and wonders if he should have lied about his race to get the room. He is also frustrated by the fact that his accent marks him as an outsider, and he compares himself to a darker brother who has been cast out of the Eden of white society. Throughout the poem, Soyinka uses irony and satire to highlight the absurdity of racism and the casual way in which it is often perpetuated. The landlady's questions about the speaker's race are framed as innocent and polite, but they are clearly rooted in prejudice. The poem also highlights the idea of otherness and how it can be used to exclude people who are deemed different or inferior. Overall, the telephone conversation is a powerful and thought-provoking poem that speaks to the ongoing issues of racism and prejudice in society. By using simple, everyday situations, Soyinka is able to show how racism can be portrayed even in seemingly harmless interactions and how it can impact the lives of individuals on a personal level.